Now moving on to the wars. Because of the Indian foreign policy, we have discussed the Indian foreign policy. India did not stand on any of the situations either towards the USA group or towards the USSR group, either towards the communist bloc or towards the capitalistic bloc or the democratic setup. Now coming to the wars issue, because of the Indian foreign policy, India immediately has to face a war in the year 1948. Actually, India did not prepare for any kind of situation of wars in the year of 1948. India has to face a threat from Pakistan or the issue of Kashmir in 1948. So initially we had a war in 1948. Again we had another war in the year 1962 with China. This was a war which was a very huge war, and the issue turned it into very seriously because we could not prepare any self, we were not developed so much, and we could not attain anything much successfully, and we have heavy loss and heavy casualties were found in the 1962 war. This was another black spot on the Indian context of wars. And again we have another war in 1965. The other war again with Pakistan on the issue of Kashmir. In this way the wars were with 3-4 wars we have. Again in 1971 we have another war again with the Pakistan, and with the formation of Bangladesh we got the breakup of Pakistan into East Pakistan and West Pakistan. In this way we got the different kinds of wars, and because of these wars the development of India was blocked and we could not reach to the success of the development, and lot of money or huge investment of the money was done in the arms, and that was wasted in such a kind where we can't get any rupee back repaid for us. In this way wars were not a true success for any country, but they are a failure, and it's not bringing any solution. Only through negotiations we can get a solution for our requirement of the problem. So wars were done between India and Pakistan, India and China, and on the issue of Kashmir, even today we may get a war. There are serious issues of getting a war only and only on the issue of Kashmir. Who succeeded Jawaharlal Nehru? We'll discuss now. Now, after the death of Jawaharlal Nehru in 1964, there was a serious issue of who is going to succeed Jawaharlal Nehru, and there were many doubts expressed by the other nations at that point of time that is democracy is going to survive or it's going to reach its end, because there is no strong leader in the Congress, and who is going to take over the position of Jawaharlal Nehru. This is the point expressed by the various other leaders, and they also have a question that is democracy going to survive or it's going to meet its end. That time there came the man called Mr. Lal Bahadur Shastri. Mr. Lal Bahadur Shastri had made a clear impression after Jawaharlal Nehru. He took over the chair of the Prime Minister, and the Congress party has put forth a strong and dedicated leader, and he took forward everything. But he also has to face a challenge in the issue of Hindi. As the language of Hindi as declared as the official language of India, and it is going to be the national language of India, immediately in the South India, that is the Tamil Nadu region, we got the party called DMK. This DMK started the anti-Hindi movement. The anti-Hindi movement went into so peak that they started to do the dharnas, the bandhs, the hartals and everything, and they started to block the trains, they started to burn the effigies, they started to break the newspapers, and the situation was that the Doordarshan news in Hindi also was not allowed to read in the Chennai TV stations, and they used to go to the TV stations of Doordarshan and they used to break the TV channels and everything, and used to destroy and create a panic situation for us. So it made it very clear that because DMK people have the view that Hindi is put forth on all of us faces. Actually we don't like Hindi at any point of time. So why are you posturing it with the Hindi on all our faces? That is the reason why expressed by the DMK people, and it got support from the other South Indian states, and it became, and DMK is having a links with the political figures like Mr. MGR, who got a very clear picture and made it a very national issue. And personally Lal Bahadur Shastri did not like any anti-Hindi movements. He wanted Hindi to be a perfectly national language, and a national language should be respected by each and every person in the nation. This is the personal view of Lal Bahadur Shastri. But In reality, the DMK did not come at all to compromise, and they went on doing all the dharnas, burning of the effigies and all these things. So finally, to come into conclusion, Lal Bahadur Shastri came with a view that we are going to give allowing the languages of regional languages for the state governments or English language. They can do the copy in regional language plus the English language, whichever is convenient for them, and pass on the laws. But Hindi will be a national language. It is not binding on anybody for them, but it will be made as a subsidiary languages, and they recognized all the other languages and made it very clear that Hindi is not going to be binding on anybody else. So from this again we can get into clarity that Jawaharlal Nehru had a personal view against the languages, that the division of the states on the basis of languages at this point of time may bring some kind of contradictions or consolidation, may get into problems. That is a view expressed by Jawaharlal Nehru, but later he did not stick on to his personal view. He went on with the popular will, and today it is an advantage that Indians are divided on the basis of languages but bonded as they are Indians. In the same way, Lal Bahadur Shastri also personally had very close intimacy with the Hindi language, and he wanted Hindi language to be the national unquestioned language, but he did not stick up on to that, and he moved on with the will of the nation, and he also made the other languages also the official language of the states, and Hindi as a national official language plus English will be the official language. In this way, the personal views of the politicians will never be addressed. Only the popular will, the people's will should be taken into criteria. This was a true key for the success of the Congress in the first initial periods, but the untimely death of Lal Bahadur Shastri made a great loss for us. Actually, he went to attend a meeting in Tashkent, and when he was signing the agreement and he was returning back, he was met his untimely death. So again there was a gap. Who should be taking over the political position of Prime Minister? Will again democracy survive? Because we are getting tasks after tasks for every government. Like we got a task of states reorganization, again immediately we got the task of anti-Hindi agitation. So let us see who will take over the chair, who brought the solution for all these things, what happened for us next. We'll discuss about it. The next major attempt which was made by the Indian government is to secure the food for all the people of Indians. So in order to get the better food abilities for all the people, the concentration on the agriculture was made very clear. But up to 1960s, we could not get any major achievement. Yeah, the production was going up to the mark, but it could not fulfill all the needs of the Indians. So in order to fulfill all the needs, technologically what advancements are required was brought through by the efforts made by MS Swaminathan and all these people who studied recently on the development of the seeds and all these things, and they came up with the view of Green Revolution. The Green Revolution mainly focuses on the hybrid variety of seeds, providing with the hybrid variety of seeds without any disturbances in the seeds, so that you can get the real plant grown with a faster speed, and providing with the good fertilizers and pesticides which are required for the plant to grow thoroughly. And the third and the key point is that irrigation. The irrigation facilities are provided at the keen at the maximum point of time, and the irrigation also to be provided very tactically, like drip irrigation, where the lot of amount of water will not be wasted by simply overflowing, but a pipe which is connected to the water will have small holes at the point of the plant where a drops will be falling on. It is known as a drip irrigation, and it is flown continuously to get the flow of the water, and the plant gets completely the water into the roots, not simply just the flow away of the water. In this way, the modern technology was brought into the Indian agriculture. Initially it was started with the wheat, later it was started with the rice, later it was moved on to the millets, pulses and all these things, cereals, and we got success in each and every one. By 1970s, the entire cultivation of agriculture in North India was completely done with the Green Revolution concept, and Indians were in a very power of excellence in doing the agriculture. Earlier it was 37 million metric tons of wheat produced, it went on to 140 million tons. Rice, it was around some 50 million tons, it became to 120 million tons. So we got double and triple kind of improvement in agriculture, which was sufficient for the Indian nations to become self-sufficient. In this way, Indians achieved their self-sufficient in respect to food was through the Green Revolution. There were again criticisms against this, but it was really a successful attempt made by the Indian government, and we saw its success in the power in 1970s. What happened with the other nations? In 1967, why did the Congress party lose its elections? What happened in the rising of the regional parties? Let us discuss all these things.